Hello there, and welcome to Hammerman for today, July the 10th, aka Barking Dog Squeaking Toy videos. Hopefully none of that. Right now, he is past TFO. New swimming regime. Make him swim for 4 hours straight. See if he passes out. It's perfect. It works great. Okay. Stage 1, obviously, pretty straightforward. Everything lands on the left-hand side, so if you are a lower level, just stack your defenses over on the left-hand side there. Put the highest level stuff in that area, and hopefully you'll have something similar to what transpired here. Obviously, you won't have quite as many defenses and stuff, but like it'll work. Like, look at all my mines going to waste. Hopefully, you don't have that many mines, but like if you do, just shove it all up into the left-hand side. Moving on, because, you know, that's pretty straightforward. Obviously, stage 2, pretty easy again. But I wanted to quickly reference back to my War Factory video, because apparently I said 2 boats of medics. I meant to say 2 boats of riflemen, and that's because, honestly, riflemen and medics, aside from the glasses, look very similar. Now, there's differences, yes, I get, like, the angle of the head and stuff like that, but when I'm kind of, like, blowing through these and things are resized, weird, I see things, you know, I blame it on all of the T-Med runs that I've done. I'm just so used to seeing medics and saying medics and doing medics that when I have to do riflemen, because I almost never use them, I get, you know, a little confused, a little beardy bork, but it's still good. I don't know why. Just because. I blame it on the air pressure? Yes. Air pressure. We'll move on to stage 3. Again, standard. I did switch it up from the Hammer Time base to the Ham Sandwich base. Mostly because I saw the, I guess the layout of what would be landing, and I knew that like it would be Zookas and Grens early on. What I wasn't expecting is the high number of heavies that got landed in that first wave. I was expecting heavies to be like second wave more so than anything, I guess. Fortunately, it worked out really well. Obviously, having those like high damage single targets up at the front, even though the heavies landed early, they were able to like ping away and do some serious damage to them. And then, you know, the tanks eventually kind of get ground down by the remaining defenses and stuff. But it worked pretty good, even though I didn't exactly get what I was expecting. The one change that I might make would be shove everything further back and make them run over the mines first, possibly, because that would, you know, hurt all of the, I guess, heavies up in front and open up the GUI behind a little. Wait, no, that doesn't sound right. The GUI stuff behind, yeah, the heavies. It'd open them up that much quicker, and then hopefully, you know, make your life that little bit easier while you roll through and smoke some fools. Kind of like what's happening right here with the riflemen just rolling up on all of the mines and getting flattened. It's almost perfect too, because the riflemen are getting up there, they're getting damaged just enough, and then the rockets are just like going crazy, firing on everybody, and everybody's just like, well, I've got 1 hit point left, so guess I'm dead, bye-bye. And like, it really makes a mess out of that crazy town. And then, obviously, once there's tanks only left, it's just a slow grind to work them down with the shock launchers and rocket launchers and whatever else. Sniper towers, I guess, can probably still get all up in there. But, you know, the few defenses that can reach, do reach, and we win the internet because of it. Moving on to Stage 5. Stage 5 kind of messed with me, I'm not gonna lie. Mostly because of the Scorcher up in front and all the medics that come in with the Riflemen. So what happens is, like, the Riflemen end up flanking the Scorcher, and the medics heal the Riflemen, and it gets really hard to melt them down. I was really worried for a good portion of this level. I was, like, watching it go through, and I'm just like, oh no, the medics are getting into the Riflemen. Oh my goodness, oh no, oh gosh, another boatload of Riflemen, oh no. Now, I lucked out in two big ways. Number one is shock launcher placement, just because the shock launchers, especially the one, I guess it would be like, you know, the southernmost rocket launcher, what ended up happening is it fired a shock and landed right on the medics. So while all of my damage started to slowly work away on the Riflemen, the medics were shocked and frozen, and they couldn't really do anything. And then instead of the medics, like, being up ahead and just, like, keeping everything healed, they had to play catch up, and that's where I kind of lucked out, and I was able to really do some decent damage. Now, as you can see, Stage 6, I did actually go through and do it once, and had to rearrange, just a rearranging of various defenses. Nothing serious. It was actually really nice because Stage 6 today is a prototype free again. So I don't know if they've like kind of rebalanced Hammerman, but I feel like Stage 6 is nice, and then Stage 7 was a really smooth transition, especially today, in as far as like difficulty increase. And I did end up having to drop the hot pocket for Stage 7. You can actually see it cooking on my weapons lab in the back there, just because well, I guess technically it's pre-cooked and it's just waiting to be like played, but whatever. Anyways, so with Stage 6 here, I was kind of worried with the hookah, but just because of the way it reacted on the first go through, I guess the first pass. But fortunately, with just rearranging the where, you know, certain shocks were landing, and where artillery and barrage was landing, and which, you know, guns went where and what did what, it really did a fantastic job. It cleared this right up, and you can see the shock launcher there hit the Zookas, and just all the Zookas just go poof. It's so good. It really, like, it was insane the amount of difference that moving like 4 buildings made, but that's the layout I ended up with. It's one of the reasons there's that weird gap there and whatnot. And then we'll move to 7, and basically it's just like all heavies and a Scorcher for the first round. So I was like, well, all of the boom mines as well as all of the cannons, and then I placed to keep my boom cannons available to go after the stuff there, as well as like I kind of set the hot pocket back just a little bit so that it wouldn't be first line defense. And then I kind of scattered the flamethrowers and machine guns and mortars and stuff throughout the buildings. Like you can even see up there in the crescent, right near where the clock is. I even have mortars up there so that when things are slowly working their way through that left-hand side, they've got to deal with like constant mortar barraging. Now, I don't know if it was a good thing that the shock launcher threw the shock on those troops or a bad thing. As you can see, it gave the hot pocket time to pop out and really do some work on them, but I'm not really sure if that was a good thing or not. I guess we'll decide later at some point, but overall, a very, very easy, very helpful, I guess, way to set it up with the one shock launcher out there. And then everything starts kind of coasting around the curve of the base, if you would, and you can see the mortars just flinging, and like they get like 2 or 3 shots off. If they're lucky, well, it's while troops move forward, they end up actually taking out the Zookas instead of the rifles. If they're not, they still hit the rifles and leave the rifles really badly hurt, which is perfect because that's what we really need so that the rocket launchers and shock launcher can just keep launching as much damage as possible into those troops and just slowly work them around, work them down, as well as like all of the really low stuff like the machine gun. Even at extremely long distance, it might have a low hit probability, but if the troops are low enough health, it's just enough to kind of finish them off. It works out really, really nice. Anyways, as you can see, this is a win. I hope that this has been helpful, guys. I hope it's been entertaining. And above all else, I hope you guys have a fantastic day.